Hey, residents of MeepleTown, today is the MeepleTown forecast.
I did not vote on the name MeepleTown forecast.
That just kind of came out. I don't know. We didn't really have we didn't decide on this. So that's what I'm calling it. If I start the videos off.
He said it earlier, and I rejected it immediately.
MeepleTown forecast. We're looking at our top 20 games that we're excited about that are hopefully releasing by the end of the year. That was kind of our goal.
My list has full sunshine and rays, and Dean's is a big old pile of rain.
Okay.
Because it's garbage.
The gauntlet is thrown down. Let's
throw it down. Yeah, we're super looking forward. These are games where I'm really looking forward to all the games on my list.
Well, I would hope so. It's your top. We're each doing our top 10. I said top 20. They're top 10 John games, top 10 Dean games. Now, we did have a couple of caveats to this. We didn't do expansions, although we're excited about some expansions.
Very excited about some expansions.
We also didn't do any reprints. Specifically, I was thinking of like Tammany Hall is coming out. They're doing the Hansa Teutonica big box.
You're super hyped on
the
that. Clash
of Cultures, which actually I consider putting on my list because it is like. It's
so are we talking about these things or not?
We're not. They're not on my list.
We're not talking about this.
I'm going to throw those in there, though.
I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10.
No, we did not. We're just talking about games that are releasing hopefully between August, end of August, or beginning of September through December.
Yep, and some of these are releasing very soon, so we wanted to get this out because I wanted to make this list. I wanted them to make this list. So you want to just dive in and let's go?
Who's making the list? Them? You're making the list.
I don't know. Who cares?
All right. Let's just go for it.
All right, so my number 10 for games that I am looking forward to starting in August is Merchant's Cove by Johnny Pack. Now, I think this is supposed to be released sometime in September. Asymmetric goodness. I'm a fan of Johnny Pack. I'm pretty much super excited now. I forgot that I've got to man these buttons this time. Dean's usually the one who's doing it, so I don't know if I can do two things at once. Look at the art on this game is, oh man, sorry, I'm not going to go back, but it's the same guy that did the art on Architects of West Kingdom, all those West Kingdom series and stuff, and he's phenomenal. And I'm really sorry I can't remember his name, but anyways. This game, I don't know. As soon as it came out on Kickstarter, I almost backed it because I thought, man, this looks really good. A lot of this, I don't know, just the asymmetric merchants going around trading whatever, and it just looks cool. I mean,
you just liked it because of the components.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised this didn't make your list because of those components and stuff like that. But I trust in Johnny Pack, who I hope is watching this. And
do you know why this is not on my list? I did not explain to you.
Likes me more.
We had to compare our list.
Or likes me at all?
Does he like you?
He may not. He may hate me.
Yeah, he does.
Sorry, Johnny.
The reason why this one is not on my list is because if you remember back in a long time ago, we were talking about our top games we were looking forward to this year. This was on my list.
We're nailing it so far.
It was. I don't remember what the list was. I think it was our top 10, 20.
It was the ones that we were looking forward to the most.
This was on that list, and I didn't re-put it on the list because I wanted to be a little more creative. But that would have. That's up there really high.
I can't wait to play this. Mainly, honestly, it's been a while since I looked at how the games play. That's why I'm not being as descriptive as I should be. But I know when I did, I loved it. And I've heard really good things about it from a lot of people. I mean, the ones that have, the ones that have played this and tested this out really give it some high regards.
Yep.
So that's
Merchant's Cove. Looks good. My number 10 is, I think, my only party game that I would put in that party game category. That is Crossed Words. And in Crosswords, you have this display set up. It's a 3x3 grid, and you've got a card matching each of the columns and each of the rows. And where those intersect, you have to come up with a word. So, for example, in this case, you got to show it up there. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I can look at either one of those. So in this case, actually go back to the other screen.
Okay.
So you've got words with P that start with P, if I can see that right, and then something you find at the mall. So you intersect those, and it's pretzels. And so you put everyone has their own disc that they can put in. You can put multiple in one slot if you want to, if you're not quite sure. And then whoever has the most correct answers at the end of the round is going to win the most points. And I think it's 3 points, and then 2 points, and then 1 point. And whoever gets to 7 points first wins. It kind of gives me a feel of, somewhere in the category of like a Just One, but it also kind of makes me think of like Categories, Boggle, like that kind of game. Not that it's, spelling words or anything exactly like Categories, but I think it's going to be one that I can get to the table a lot and introduce in the same way that I introduce those games that I like quite a bit. But that is Crossed Words.
I just want to look at the ratings because before games come out, what people rate them really matter.
Some people have played this though.
I'm just playing. Just playing. That's a joke because that is a pet peeve of mine. How about you, Dean? When people go and rate games that they've never played, now they may have actually played this one, but
that is very true. That is very true.
All right, crosswords. I am mildly interested in that.
Only after my pitch, right?
Mildly interested. It seemed okay. It seems okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. We'll see what happens. All right. So my number 9 is Venice. Oh man, Andre Novak, David Zertzi. This game looks like some pick up and deliver fun. A whole lot of fun. Look at this, Dean. I just don't know why Dean. Look at this.
It's really high on my list.
I'm telling you.
It's not a top 10, but it's probably like number 12, 13.
And I'm telling him simply because of the boats and the pictures there. I just think that you're going around, and here's the cool thing. You kind of have like a little bit of an engine building mechanism in the sense of you have merchants that give you abilities when you stop at these places, or when you pass these places or stop at them. I can't remember exactly, but depending on what level they are, there's different abilities or actions that you can take. So if you kind of upgrade them, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word for them, then you get more actions open to you. But what's really cool is these merchants that are wealthy, I believe, but when you cross other people's boats in this game, suspicion arises. So you have to, which I thought he would like that. So there's something with suspicion on this, and so like you have to be careful of the way you're going to cross boats, when you're going to do that, how you're going to, as you're picking up and delivering and all those things. Yeah, like
is that what you're suspicious?
Yes, because it says that you may be doing some kind of shady deals.
You don't know what's actually on the boats?
I don't know. You do. You do in the game, I believe, but I'm saying they don't know. They're suspecting that Dean is becoming wealthy because he's doing some shady stuff. So this looks really good, and I'm pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, I am too. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and it does look like something that would be up my alley.
Yeah.
I will definitely play this when it comes out. And the other thing is, actually when I saw this first, I think I saw this and sent you a text of the game.
I think so. Yeah.
And Andre Novak and David Turchi are up there, and so that's another hype reason, but just didn't quite make my list. But now you're talking about it.
You're thinking, man,
I'm going to change my list around. My number 9 is
there you go.
Venice. Just kidding.
All right, number 9.
My number 9 is Super Skill Pinball for Cade. This is a Jeff Engelstein game, which gets me pretty excited. And
there's not a whole lot of pictures on this one, but I'll pull up what I can.
No, but there are some gameplay videos of this one, and I love the look of this one, for one, okay? That you've got these different, everyone has their own cards that are different pinball machines that you're going to be playing. It's weird because I think I'm starting to like some roll and writes a little bit more right now, and this one seems very unique. I like it because you're rolling 2 dice and you're just picking one to match the number, but wherever you X out on your board, whatever number that you pick to X out on the board, you have to follow the rules of gravity. And so like if I mark something up here, then I have to mark something down here and it falls down, and then you're hitting it back up, and it kind of gives you the feel of pinball. And it's unique because everyone has their own, like I said, everyone has their own board. But I'm intrigued by this one. Again, I've liked more roll and writes recently, and so it makes me think I probably will like this one quite a bit, and it seems very unique. So that is Super Skill Pinball for Cade. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm not. It's okay. Honestly though, the Jeff Engelstein actually made me interested, and I do think that the gravity thing is interesting.
Yeah.
But top 10 things that I'm excited about, crossed whatever the heck that was, and this, your list is off to a rousing start, Dean.
Let's see what dumb game you got coming up.
Oops. I can't. I put it up on the screen for a second, then I flashed it away because I forgot that this is a little higher on Dean's list. So if you saw it and you caught it, that's good. And if
he could just edit it out.
I'm not doing all that work. My number 8 is, who knows?
It's going to be higher on my list.
All right.
You will know because you saw it.
I should have taken it off. Remember? And you told me I should have it there for a marker, and then I screwed it up. All right. That's my number 8.
All right. We don't know.
Don't know. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is one that I thought that you might have on your list, but you do not. That's Curious Cargo. This is the follow-up game to Pipeline, which is one that we both quite enjoy, and it's Ryan Courtney again.
This was close. This was close. Your list is already shining a whole lot.
There we go.
The sun is shun.
The shun. Yeah, I'm not shunned anymore.
I'm shunning your list, but the sun is beginning to rise.
This is a 2-player only game, which is, you know, I've got actually 2 of the 2-player only games, but in this one, I'm just going to read some of this. You go head-to-head against your opponent by building up the infrastructure of your facility, calling in trucks at the right moment, all while perfect timing the shipping and receiving of cargo to score the most points. But there is something, if I can find it in here. Yeah, ship your custom-shaped cargo tokens to your opponent to interfere with their logistics plans. So that rose my eyebrows on that. There is some player interaction in this, and seems like it could be potentially even maybe I don't know. Mean is the right word. I haven't watched enough on this to know if it's a mean game, but there's definitely that player interaction. I think this one's going to be pretty interesting. Pipeline we like a lot, and so even just based on Pipeline, a 2-player version of that is enough to put it on my list.
And Capstone, man.
And Capstone, yeah, that's right.
Really good. So yeah, I'm pretty intrigued by this. Didn't make my list, but. Good choice, Dean.
Good. I was sitting on the edge of my seat hoping that John loves my picks.
All right, so that's your number 8. My number 7 is... I'm going to pull it up.
Is it higher on my list?
No.
Okay.
Oops, look at that. I was looking at the Man vs. Meeple video of it. How about that? Look at that little plug for Man vs. Meeple, I guess, huh? All right. Tawantinsuyu.
What's that?
Tawantinsuyu. That's how you say it. Tawantinsuyu. The Incan Empire. Now, I was showing Dean a little bit of this action. There's not very much on the pictures on this. Now, this is another David Zertsky game. That's interesting.
That's the only thing that you will say that will pique my interest about this one, because all the other things that you said to me so far have been shutting me down.
Okay, so there's Man vs. Meeple, also Meeple University did an actual playthrough. So there's actually some pretty good stuff. You can really have a good idea of what this game is like. But I'm gonna zoom in a little bit on this for y'all. Oh, it's not getting the whole picture. All right, well, you can see what you can see. How about that? So on this board, there are 85 different worker spots.
Strike one.
There are 12 ways to score victory points.
Strike two.
From my understanding. And anyway, that's about it. Like I'm intrigued. This is what I'm intrigued about. I watched some of the gameplay, and multiple times, as I've heard some people talk about it, interesting decisions. Like, it seems simple, like you have one of 2 things that you can do on your turn, but there's all these different things that you can do. So it's like, look at all these different placement spots, but it matters where you place your high priest on this board. You have to pay more food if you're not going to the right spots and different things like that. You're going up tracks. You got a little temple track that you're going up.
I like going up tracks.
You do like that. And I trust in David. I think he's going to do a really good job. Also like that it's board and dice. Board and dice is really good. Yeah. I'm pretty darn hype on this. If you haven't checked it out, go look at some of the gameplay and stuff. This is something I'm pretty darn interested in. I think Dean was more until I started talking to him about the game.
No, I had zero interest in this game, other than board and dice. However, I feel like board and dice, this might not be your only board and dice game on the list. That's my guess.
Oh, that's for darn sure accurate.
All right.
That's some country stuff right there.
Tawantinsuyu.
Tawantinsuyu.
Okay. Did I really say it?
Tawantinsuyu. I mean, yes.
All right.
I hope that after you watch this video and think of the things I've made fun of your list, you don't want to Tawantinsuyu me.
I knew that joke was going to come out, by the way. I started to make it, and I was like, no, John will make it. I don't have to worry about that.
You can believe in me.
My number 7 is another 2-player only game by a first-time designer called Glasgow.
Glasgow, all right.
And in this game, it's pretty simple, it seems like. You've got
Clemens Franz, so this button right there.
It is Clemens
You're
Franz.
selling me on it right there.
Now, okay, the reason why it first piqued my interest is because it was a lookout 2-player game, which, you know, that's the Agricola 2-player, Caverna, those type of games that we both really enjoy those quite a bit. This one seems like it's on the simpler end. You are going around, you're taking one action of moving around. First you move around, and then you either take the resources that are listed there, or you build a building, and that's it. And whoever builds a certain amount of buildings is going to be the winner. It seems pretty simple, but I just, again, part of it is that 2-player only game in that lookout line is really intriguing. And I just think it looks good, and I want to try it out.
I do too. I think that was a good choice as well. So there you go.
Glasgow.
All right, that's your number.
It is more of an abstract game, I guess, is what, which is, I can be a theme guy sometimes, but that's okay.
No, that's great. I'm really interested in that one. So, quick playing city builder. So that sounds
30
fun.
minutes.
30 minutes. That's your number 7. My number 6 is higher on Dean's list, so I will hold my tongue.
Is that right?
Until it's time.
All right.
All right. So what's your number 6, homie?
Did you plan that joke?
No. What's the joke?
Holding your tongue? Tungari.
No.
Tungaru. Tungaru.
Sometimes the puns just, it's like they ooze out of my pores.
Tungaru? I'm not sure quite how to say this one. This is a Polynesian themed game, and it's got dice placement, resource conversion. It's a medium weight Euro, which is my jam. Love the look of this one. This is by designer of Valparaiso, which I have not played. You played. You didn't love that game, but I still think that this.
No,
one
Louis and Stefan also pull up all their stuff, dude.
Yeah, they've done lots of stuff. That was one of the games that they had designed.
They did
Rococo
Ito and Rococo and all that.
I haven't played any of those. I haven't played any of their games at all. But again,
Andrew Mosley did the art.
Dice placement is one of my favorite things in games, and this conversion of resources is something that I like quite a bit as well. And so that's why this one is on my list. I really am interested in checking this one
beautiful.
out. It does.
Andrew Mosley's great. This and Louis and Stefan, I'm super interested in this. This was like right there on the borderline of making my list. Pretty hyped that you put this. So your list went from who gives a rat's behind to pretty darn good, just like that.
Wow.
So I'm complimenting you.
Wait, that is not a compliment. We call that a backhanded compliment.
All right, that's your number 6. My number 5 is a game that is literally coming out next week.
So you got to get this list out quick.
Alma Mater. Yep, I've got to edit this video with the quickness and get this out. Now, this design team is absolutely fantastic. Lorenzo El Magnifico, Coimbra. I'm super hype on this. Chris Williams actually did the art on this, which is cool. I didn't realize that he did the art on this. Egert Spiel produces so many good games. Yeah. All right. Let me pull up the pictures here and pull up a few of these pictures. Honestly, I'm just sold on the design team and everything that I've heard about this game. I think everything I've heard has been very positive. I know Steph Hodge really liked it whenever she played this game. Rado liked it, I believe. I know he did because I watched his thing on it. This game just looks fantastic. The art is fantastic in this game. This is one that, based on designers pretty much alone, this design team, I'm fired up about this. And like I said, hearing positive stuff all day long, I'm ready to go. Card play is going to be really interesting. I know it's going to be on this side of the board. That's the way they design, Coimbra and the card play. And you have your worker placement spots, I believe, over here. Sign me up. Pre-order. Check. Wish I could have gotten a review copy, Egert Spiel. See this face?
Are you done? Are you still talking?
I tried.
Okay.
They don't love MeepleTown.
Okay. My number 5.
The best way to get people to send you review copies is to make statements like that. So they go, oh, wow. I definitely need to get him a review copy next time.
Number 5 for me.
All right. Yes, sir.
Was higher.
Hold up a second. Yes, never mind. You're right.
Was higher on your list. Number 8, I think, on your list. Is that right?
Yes.
That is CloudAge.
Boom.
Why is this one on your list, John?
One word. Alexander Pfister.
It's 2 words, one name. And that's part of the reason why it's on mine, too. This one, there's not a whole lot of information that I saw listed on this one, but it is said to be one of his lighter games, so not as heavy as
Great Western
Trail or Maracaibo, but heavier than Isle of Skye.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of maybe more in that range than the other ones, I guess. But this one has a mixture of engine building, which you love, I also love, deck building, and resource management. So
the art's beautiful on the box. The art has me super intrigued. Yeah.
That's the only art I think that is out there, right? There's nothing. I don't think there's any other available information that I've seen on this.
It's a recent what you call it? Not released. I'm struggling in this video, Dean.
Yeah.
They just recently talked about it.
This is another...
That's a country way to say it.
This is another Capstone Games game.
That's true. That's another reason. I was going to say Capstone and Alexander Pfister teaming up. Now, I will say that it would have been higher on the list if it was a little... If they said it was more around the Great Western Trail weight. I'm a little... Who knows? Who knows? I was a little, discouraged. Dystopian. Dark and dystopian is one of the... That's saucy. I'm pretty hype on this game.
Yeah, I don't typically feel the need to look forward to games based on their weight. I'm a little less shallow than that. I like.
I'm just saying.
It's a good game.
I'm just saying that I like Pfister's a little bit heavier games.
Yeah.
More than some of his lighter. Like I like Alice Guy. It's fine. I like Oh My Goods. It's good, but some of his a little bit heavier stuff is really my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not quite as excited. But this may be my favorite game ever. Who knows?
I might be more excited about a Pfister game than John. Now, this is not his only game coming out this year either. The Monster Expedition, I think, is the name of the other one, which is a follow-up to the Amigo. What was that monster game? Monster.
It's not coming out this year. So you're talking about something that's coming out next year.
Oh, it was listed as 2020. Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that because I requested from Amigo and they said that won't be out till 2021. I think. Sorry, Amigo, if I'm telling the wrong information, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the original Monster, whatever that game was. Anyway, I liked that one. I thought it was a lot of fun. And this is a follow-up game. And Pfister, this isn't the other one we're talking about. CloudAge is what we're talking about.
I'm high on the other one too. Yeah, that's your number 5. My number 4 is on your list higher, I believe. So.
Okay.
What's your number 4? Yeah.
My number 4 is Lost Ruins of Arnak, which I've got, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, I've got several on my list that are from first-time designers. This is one of them. This is a CGE game, and in this game you've got deck building and worker placement. Boom. There we go. That's all I need to know. And
it's really interesting. This this major list, first time designer, and for those reasons, is the art really drawing you in? You like
the theme's
CGE,
drawing me in. Yeah, I like CGE games.
Yeah.
The theme draws me in. I really want a good game like this. Yeah, the art really is fantastic.
That's really good.
But I like deck building and I like worker placement. And the other thing I like about this game, and I haven't looked at a ton on this game, but one of the things that I saw the designers talking about is that you're just taking one action per turn. And I find myself liking that in a lot of games. So, it's quick. It seems like it'd be quick. I just take an action, you take an action, and you're just doing different things. You can play cards to place workers. You can place workers. There's different things that you do. I like it. Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Cool. I'd like to check that one out. All right. So that is your number 4. My number 3, here we go, is Praga, Caput, Regni. Regni.
Praga, Caput, Regni.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I don't know.
I'm from Tennessee, and I try my best. I really do feel terrible about it whenever I can't pronounce stuff very well. But I'm going to give you one reason why I'm interested in this, even though there are other reasons. It's 2 words. I got it right this time.
Oh, boy.
Vladimir Suhi. He is fantastic. I love underwater cities. Way high up there. Pulsar, I mean, if you're following our top 50 list, this guy's on there. I love, but then whenever I read about this, it really is intriguing. Actually, let me go back here before we look at some of the pictures, I'm going to go back here and look at the very top. It says, build the medieval city of Prague by choosing from 6 ever-changing actions. How about that?
It's better than choosing from 85 worker placement spots. I like that.
All right.
This was my number 11 game, by the way. This is way up there for me too.
And there's scales on your player board or something like that, and those kind of change the actions, I believe. I don't know, man. I haven't looked into this one in super detail, but Vladimir comes out with a game, I'm immediately interested. This idea, here's the scale weight things, I believe. This kind of idea here, the idea of the 6 ever changing actions, it draws me in. Now, look at this stat thing. Look at this. I mean, that should be selling you on it right there.
It does. This is my number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this.
I'm super excited
all the
about
same
this.
things that you're saying.
And because it's my number 3, if there's a review copy, I get it.
Well, that's how that works.
That's how it works for us now. I just made up new rules. All right. Yeah.
My number 3.
Can't wait to play that game.
All right, my number 3 is a game that I'm slightly surprised wasn't on your list. This is probably my heaviest game on my list. That is Anno 1800 by one of my favorites, Martin Wallace, which is a big reason why I have this one up there. Now, Anno 1800 is a board game implementation of a video game with the same name. I've never played the video game, but I like the idea of this. You are building up a city, and you have your people who have demands for items that they want, and so you're getting those items for them, and their demands get higher and change throughout the game. This one has a bunch of buildings. I don't remember seeing how many that there are, but there are a ton of buildings that you can build in this one. It's heavy. It's a 2-hour game. Martin Wallace. I'm pumped. I'm really, really excited about this one.
I haven't read too much about it, or I could see it easily making my list. I'm very excited about this as well. So that was a really good choice.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Validation.
John approved.
John approved.
Okay, so that's your number 2. My number 2 is coming out like now, basically. So I have to get this list done even sooner than next week.
Sooner than today.
This one, I think, is being shipped now, and that is it was my number 1 earlier this year when we first did our 2020 list, most excited to anticipate, and that is Tekhenu, Obelisk of the Sun. And there's, dude, David Xerxes is 3 times on my list.
I know it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did Anachrony, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with him. So that's one word, Anachrony.
Which you've not played.
Which should intrigue a lot of people. Which I've never played, but all I've heard is good things about it. Good point. And Daniele Ticini. Dude, I love Daniele Ticini. I think he's fantastic. Now, to me, this looks like, and maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? This looks like this is going to have some. When I initially saw this, I thought, I love Teotihuacan. And I love using dice for actions. I can't remember if this is dice drafting or not. But I'm kind of, you're shallow, you say, about your components. I'm shallow about my designers. You know what I mean? If they are great designers, I'm just sold. Just let me buy it. Take my money right now. Look at that obelisk, dude. You're interested in playing this.
No. I mean, yeah, I'll play it.
But you don't like Daniele Ticini as much as I do. That's right.
Well, I do. I like him, but the thing that I get the feel of the most is Teotihuacan. Yeah. And that is not my favorite. It was fine, but I just didn't love it.
It's such a good game. You're just wrong about that game.
Okay.
That's it. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I bet this. I'm already hype on. I'm so hype on this game. I've never even played it, but I'm so hype on it. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah,
board and dice as well. Come on.
Part of me thought this was going to be your number 1 again, but
it was until I found out about another game. I mean, I'm glad that I could be so descriptive about that. Astute observation.
My number 2, I think, was the one that was higher on your list, if I remember right.
Boom.
Monasterium.
You said it was higher on my list. It was lower on my list. Mm-hmm. I think that's what you said.
Earlier on
it was number 4. This is high on my list. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the rule book of this because it's
funny. This one was just announced, I think last week, if I remember right, by designer Arva Fuller. I may have said that wrong, but the designer also worked on El Gaucho, Pagoda. Some other ones that I have not played. I don't think I've played any except
some of the Chronicles.
Right, worked on some of the Chronicles in Glenmore too.
Or at least one of them.
Right, one of them. That's the only thing I've ever played from this designer. I'll tell you what grabbed me in this one. The theme.
Yes.
The artwork. Just the overall look of this one. It's not listed on there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
At least on the Board Game Geek page, it's not listed on there.
Okay.
But the theme, in the early Middle Ages, the peak of the ecclesiastical power, no fewer than 5 monasteries were founded in a beautiful valley with the aim of spreading the word of God. This is really cool. You're a dean of a school, and you're trying to help people out, bring them up.
I like monks in monasteries. Love the theme. I don't know why the theme is hype on me, but it's hype on me? I don't know. Yeah, and the dice. You're actually rolling these dice. You have neutral dice, you have a personal die, and you're selecting, after you roll them, one number, and you're putting all those into a spot on the board to take actions with. And it sounds interesting. I don't want to go into too much about that, but the way the actions are done, it sounds really, really interesting. Like you said, I'm very interested because of the designer. I'm very interested because of the theme. The art looks really, really great in this game. And I've read through some of the rule book, and it just seems like you're making some pretty cool decisions. Number 4 for me, number 2 for you.
Number 2.
We're both really hype on this game. Can't wait to see what this is going to be like. So, yeah, absolutely can't wait.
Such a beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
looks
I love
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that is your number 2. So what is my number 1 most anticipated game, Dean?
I'm guessing it's an Ufa Rosenberg game.
Stop stealing the thunder. Stop stealing the thunder.
Nailed it. I mean, it's Uva. If he's got a game coming out, it's going to be number 1 on your list. Doesn't matter what kind of list it is.
Okay, this is one, and actually, Lucas Siegman is also a designer on it, so it's not totally Uva. So.
All right.
There is not very much on this game. I'm actually going to go over the Opinionated Gamers actually have a write-up on this, which is really, really great to read through if you want to check that out. They did a really, really good job. But this game, okay, first of all, I'm sold because it's Uva. He's my favorite designer. I love him. And farming is involved. Sold. Beer making, I believe, is involved because this is a place in Germany where it's known for hops, the hops. And so that's, dude, like we just talked about monasteries and stuff. You know, you and I like I don't know why. Why do we like beer brewing themes? Like,
I love
them. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just
Brewcrafters.
It's just intriguing to
Taverns
me.
of Tiefenthal, all those games.
I think that there's some crop rotation that you're having to do in this game. I mean, I'm just sold. Look, I mean, the art that's here is just fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it. Uva's gonna kill it with this game. Beer making, farm, Uwe Rosenberg, completely sold. Take my money right now. Booyakasha.
Yeah. My number 1, I think, is lower on your list. Is that right? Did you put this one on your list?
Oh, yeah, it was number 6.
Okay, so this is a Stefan Feld game, Castles of Tuscany. Now, here's my reservation about putting this one at number 1. I'm hyped. I'm hype on this game.
All right. This is like all the picks we can get. Sorry.
I know, and there's not a lot of information. All I have to go on is this is Stefan Feld, and this is the follow-up game to one of my favorites, Castles of Burgundy.
It's one of your favorites ever.
It's a top 10 game for me. Yeah, I love Castles of Burgundy. That's all I have to go off of. Now, there's even another Stefan Feld game that should be coming out this year, I think, called Bonfire. It might be next year. It's listed as 2020. But this is the one I chose to pick because Castles of Burgundy. That's it. I mean, that is the reason why it's on my list.
I mean, me too, pretty much. So
yeah,
me too.
I wish I had more to talk about
on me list.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Stefan Feld. I'm always interested in what he comes out with. But yeah, I mean, being the follow up to Castles. I mean, it's what's wrong with saying that? Castles of Burgundy is a fantastic.
No. I just wish I had more to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all wish that there was more because we don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot out there on this, but
how many people have you seen that have said, "Oh, I'm buying this"? Like,
oh yeah,
all they need to know
all
is
day long.
Castles of Tuscany and Feld. They don't need to see anything else.
Nope.
That's the way I'm at.
It was my number 6. You're number 1. Really
number
high
1
for you.
Yeah.
So that's it, Dean. That's our top 10 games that we are right now.
MeepleTown forecast.
Oh yeah.
That's tell people how they can get in touch with us.
Dang.
I'm not going to let you have a chance to block that title.
Well, we have a wind from the northeasternly quadrant blowing in.
Yeah,
MeepleTown game.
It works.
If you like our channel, I don't even know if I like our channel. Just kidding. Does a joke.
Oh, wow.
If you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe to it. Click on that bell for notifications for when we come out with new stuff. We're MeepleTown Games for pretty much all our stuff. At MeepleTown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at MeepleTown Games, and connect with us on the MeepleTown Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.